How's it going, Laser Bruce's up, Bobby Sixkilla, welcome back to Quantum Suicide. Now, I have to be honest, I've had some serious issues recording the game over the past week or so. We've had some serious glitches, and I've had a few videos go corrupt, so there's a few I'm going to have to re-record, and this episode is one of them that I'm re-recording because of a corrupt file. So let's continue where we left off. I think I summoned us to the bridge to talk to the captain. Let's do that. I bowed and zapped herself out of my room, which fell back into darkness as the illumination disappeared with her. Maybe dying wouldn't be so bad. I mean, it's uninterrupted sleep after all. I smiled to myself for a moment before pulling myself out of bed and heading towards the bridge. We'll figure it out. I'll make sure that there's nothing missing in the full Let's Play. If you're just watching through the playlist, don't worry. I arrived at the bridge just in time to catch the captain, who, assuming she was alone, was chewing her fingernails while staring at the screen. Captain? The captain, startled, dropped her hands quickly by her sides and became composed.
Thank you so much for coming this morning.
Quick question first.
Of course, but it had better be quick.
When do you sleep? It's like 5 a.m. When do you sleep?
Interesting question. I've never been asked that before. Like my mother before me, I'm a polyphasic sleeper.
A what?
Yes, sorry. I sleep multiple times a day for shorter periods. Where you might sleep for 7 or 8 hours at once, I will sleep multiple times a day for 2 hours here, 3 hours there.
Why?
My mother taught me to sleep like this. She would tell me that the captain does not have the luxury to clock off for the entire night. The ship must always have a captain ready at any moment, and a well-rested captain is best, be it at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m.
Wow, so you sleep like that so you can be ready for anything?
Yes. As the captain, it is my responsibility to take care of this ship and its crew 24 hours a day. And sleeping like this is the most effective way to manage my time and cognitive capabilities.
Isn't that tiring? To always be on the back foot waiting?
I have never known any different, so have very little to compare it to.
So you've never slept for 8 hours?
Oh yes, of course I have.
Did you prefer that?
Given that I was sedated by Nicholas? No.
What the heck? Why would he sedate you?
I was ill and refusing to not work. He said that he had medicine that would allow me to work better and through my illness. I believed him. Then I woke up almost 10 hours later. Your expression is correct. I was enraged. When I came to, I went to confront him, but Vladimir asked me not to. He explained that everyone was worried and that he only did it to help. So I let it slide, but told him to never do it again.
I have to apologize if we're going over old conversations as well. I don't know what you have and haven't seen at this point, because I'm a little bit further ahead, because I've had to backtrack to fix a broken video. I can't believe you let him live.
He had the best of intentions. Plus, can I tell you a secret?
The captain leaned in and smiled, whispering quietly to me.
I was so ill I couldn't have killed him if I tried.
The captain pulled away and laughed.
All right, now the reason why you are here.
The black hole. Yes, I told me there's something to do with the black hole.
Yes, that is correct. Just over a week ago, I made the choice to stay on course towards the black hole.
Yeah, I remember, and your argument made sense. What's the problem?
We will be at the closest point to the black hole tomorrow just after 4 a.m.
And Shizuka will handle it.
Are
you worried you've made the wrong choice?
People are already dying on my watch. I don't want to sentence the entire crew to death at once.
Captain, no one's gonna die being this close to the black hole. As Shizuka said, we should miss the event horizon, which as you know is the point of no return on a black hole. We won't get stuck, we won't die. The captain didn't look convinced. My understanding of black holes means that worst case scenario, while navigating through its gravitational pull, we might experience time dilation, but even then, it shouldn't be observable from us.
Time dilation?
To put simply, time passes slower for those closer to a black hole than those further away from it. So a day to us might in fact be a year for others further away, but theoretically, we shouldn't even notice. The captain stared, looking even more concerned. Nothing I was saying was helping here. Maybe I was making it worse. My father always said that people are like parrots. They love their own reflections, and their own voices. Maybe this is what he meant. Here goes. Captain, would you rather have a 100% chance of death, or a 50% chance? Captain's worried demeanor quickly melted away and she turned her glance to me, smirking.
Wise words. I wonder where you got them from. But you are right, and so was I. Not chancing the black hole is a death sentence in itself.
See, all better. No point worrying about what we can't control. We either die from a black hole or a psychotic AI system. Both noble deaths. The captain took a moment looking stern before breaking into a laugh.
Noble indeed. Thank you for the laugh and for your counsel.
You're most welcome. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a bed awaiting me. I made my way back to my bed, waiting for me like a loyal friend, ready to embrace me. It was good to be back. I'd been asleep long enough. I felt quite rested. Maybe for the first time on the ship. It was time to get to business. I hopped out of bed, this time with much more spring, and headed toward the lab with two things in mind. 1. Changing dimensions, and 2. Finding the deactivation code for Dai. I arrived in the lab. Well, I guess it was my lab now, since Vladimir... Alright, let's begin. I appeared before me, almost before I finished saying your name. Must be nice to be able to move around that fast.
Yes?
Have you got any new information on that deactivation code?
I am afraid not. If I did, I would notify you.
Yes, of course, my apologies.
Now, if you will excuse me.
Ooh, a bit curt today, are we? I bowed and disappeared from the room almost as quickly as she appeared. Well, that wasn't a positive start. Alright, next problem. This damn watch. I pulled the watch out of the box, in the lab, and stared at it intensely. It still looked exactly the same. It made the same stupid buzz noise when I pressed it. Ah, this is the definition of insanity.
Good morning, sailor.
No, not you. I turned around to see that Beatrix had let herself into the lab. Oh, good morning, Beatrix.
Still playing with that watch?
Afraid so. I'm getting nowhere, and I'm just going crazy here.
Maybe you're missing the point.
How can I be missing the point?
What if that watch has nothing to do with anything, but you have become fixated on it and are now missing the real solution? What if your parents' research was a dead end, and now you are just continuing to waste your time?
You could be right. Maybe I am chasing the wrong idea.
Yep, you could be.
Beatrix answered flippantly, like it was obvious. So what do you suggest then?
I suggest that we enjoy today. We might be dead tomorrow.
At this rate, we'll be dead within months.
So, you have months to solve the unsolvable problem.
I was unsure how Beatrix was so relaxed about the possibility of our future deaths, but I found it reassuring somehow. I stood for a moment considering her words. Did I want my last moments on this earth bashing my head against the wall or enjoying the company of those around me? If enjoying the company of those around me meant Beatrix, I'd rather bash my head on a wall, thanks. I need to focus. I might die tomorrow, but if I can find a breakthrough here, maybe no one needs to die tomorrow. Really sorry, Beatrix, but I have to work on this. Beatrix seemed visibly upset.
But you might be dead tomorrow.
I know, but I need to do everything I can to try and prevent that. Beatrix quickly swayed from upset to irritated as she began to raise her voice in frustration.
I might be dead tomorrow. All I have is today.
Go find someone else to hang out with then. I could still see the sadness as her voice squeaked through her rage. Couldn't bear to look at her, and her eyes began to well with tears. I wanted to spend time with her, I truly did. Why? Sorry, Beatrix. I'm doing this in the hopes to save your tomorrow, my tomorrow, so we can have a next week, a next month. Beatrix tried to talk through her tears.
Well, I hope you find something and don't go to bed for the last time filled with regret.
Okay. She turned on her heels and stormed out the lab. I spoke under my breath as she left. Sorry, Beatrix. Hours passed and I was no closer. I slipped the pocket watch into my pocket and returned to my quarters. I placed the pocket watch on the bedside table and lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling. I was certain I did the right thing, but Beatrix was right. Regret was starting to fill my body. Tears were streaming from my eyes and I closed them. I woke up again with a similar feeling I had many times before. My stomach felt as though it was trying to escape my body. It was time to go dance with the devil, I suppose. I slipped out of bed and stood firmly on my feet, forcing myself to wake up. I wonder what time it is. I must have woken before the game was to start.
Good morning.
Di, why are you here already? It isn't game time yet, is it?
Nope. But I, the sleepyhead, wanted to sleep in this morning, so I'm doing her daily tasks.
What? Really?
No, silly. I is a program. She doesn't need to sleep in.
No, not that. The fact that you're doing your tasks.
That. Kinda?
Di cocked her head and smiled quizzically. What does kinda mean?
I am a busy lady, so I'm picking and choosing what tasks to do. For example, I woke the captain up just an hour ago.
Oh, that's nice of you.
I blasted her room with music louder than recommended levels for human ears.
I stood for a moment, unsure how to respond.
Yes, it went as well as you can imagine.
Okay, well, do you know what time it is?
Do I look like a clock?
Well, no, but...
You are on a spaceship for science's sake. You could look almost anywhere for the time. You what? Enjoy treating the dim-witted eye as a personal clock? It's not cool that you are taking advantage of her and her simpletonness.
Simpletonness? I didn't mean to... But my wall clock, it doesn't change.
Luckily for you, I don't like her either. It's 4:13 a.m., you blind numbskull. Game starts at 7 a.m. See you then!
Di saluted and zapped out of my room. I got changed and started getting ready when I noticed the pocket watch on my bedside table. I put it there last night when I went to bed. The green lights that would rotate 3 times when I pressed the left switch were now all on. The pocket watch was responding to something. I picked up the watch and looked at it closely. What should I do? Push the button. Why wait? This is the first breakthrough I've had since looking into this. After all, maybe I'll make progress before the deletion game. I didn't hesitate to press the right button. I was no longer met with a loud buzz noise from before, but rather a chime. The watch hand started spinning around, one clockwise, one anti-clockwise, as the 2 little panels began spinning through numbers before finally stopping when both smaller clocks had reached 60. The 2 panels read 17 on the left and 34 on the right. Suddenly I felt sick, like I was going to throw up.
Hey, wake up! Do you want to make us late and kill us all?
I begrudgingly opened my eyes. Felt like I'd been hit by a truck. My head was killing me. Huh?
Seriously? You were so lazy.
I opened my eyes to see Beatrix and another woman standing over me. Beatrix?
No, it's Santa.
Does that make me Mrs. Claus?
Sure, Bonnie. You're Mrs. Claus.
Dibs on eating all the food left out for you, though.
No. We are a partnership and it's a 50-50 arrangement.
Okay.
Very well. I do look pretty good in red.
Don't we all?
What is happening? Bonnie, who are you?
Mrs. Claus? Do you not listen?
So you're our wife? In this universe? Where am I?
The Everett? Like you have been since your birth? What is wrong with you?
Maybe he drank too much last night.
I sat up and tried to understand what was happening here. Wait, I never left the Everett?
Leave? To go where? We were born on this ship, and we will die on this ship.
What a lovely thought, thank you. And the deletion game, that never happened?
Are you messing with us?
Please tell me you don't know what the deletion game is?
No can do, sailor. In fact, that is why you have to get up. We're going to be late and Di's going to kill us all if we are.
But I don't know what the game is.
None of us do. How would we? We'll find out shortly, like usual.
We haven't stopped Di?
Nope, afraid not. We only have one of the pieces of the deactivation code.
You have a piece? Bonnie and Beatrix looked at each other with more confusion.
You're the one who worked out the deactivation code is made up of 5 words and that one of the clue pieces is per.
Per. I did?
Yep. Now, can you and your amnesia hurry up, or none of us will live to see Di deactivated?
Right, yeah, of course.
See you in the dining hall. Let's go, Mrs. Claus.
Oh, Santa.
Dirty. Beatrix and Bonnie left my room, where I stood stunned with my headache for a moment. I ran to the deletion game, but what was the game? I made my way to the dining hall where I saw the crew. Sora was there and some of the crew, but so were some other faces I didn't recognize. 8 of us in total.
Ah, good morning. Lazy and the last to arrive as usual.
Morning, Di. It's nice to see another familiar face.
Strangely positive this morning. And weird acting. Weird is right. He didn't even know who I was when I woke him up. Really? Well, I guess I would want to forget who you are, too. Not nice, Di. I thought we were friends.
Really? Bonnie jokingly pouted at Di.
We are. Friends make jokes, promise.
Bonnie looked up at Di and made a love heart shape out of her hands.
All right, now on to the main event. Today's deletion game is called Guess What Number Di is Thinking of.
Well, that's dumb. What? Really?
Why? What's wrong with that?
I guess I was expecting something a little more inventive. Di seemed shocked at my statement, almost like what I just said was absurd. What are the rules then?
I thought Guess What Number I'm Thinking of was pretty straightforward.
You're kind of a crap die compared to our one. So there's no video, no elaborate set of rules, just pick a number? Di seemed visibly irritated.
Congratulations! You have volunteered to go first.
Oh, yay. What? No,
Pick a number between 0 to 10. Go!
But Di's demeanor changed to that of a devil when her voice echoed throughout the ship with irritation.
I said pick!
9.
Bzzz. Wrong!
What number was it?
I'm not telling you. The others still need to guess. But first, I must see you out.
I feel like you're going to wipe out... Well, statistically, you're going to wipe out 9 out of 10 of the crew members like this. 9 out of every 10. What? What do you mean?
Please come this way, good sir, so I can eject you out of the ship.
How exciting, thank you. But the game isn't over.
It is for you.
Before I could say another word, I was being firmly escorted to the docking bay, to the airlock with hands holding me on either side. My escorts let me go as they pushed me towards the airlock section.
It has been nice knowing you. Toodles!
I see our wife doesn't care about us very much. Airlock in the docking bay opening? How did this happen? How could I have failed? I still need to save everyone. I need to save Beatrix. Beatrix, I'm sorry. As the airlock opened, I felt a fierce suction on my body, but only for a moment, before everything turned to black. You have died. Alright, we're going to cut here and I'll bring you back. We'll come down that same path and I'll bring you back when we get to the next choice. And we won't jump with the watch. Last time we cried over spilt milk, didn't we? So this time we're going to follow her, I guess. We have to be nice to Beatrix this time. I guess sitting here isn't helping anything. Okay, wait, I'm coming. I jumped out of bed, threw on a t-shirt, and headed down the hall after Beatrix.
Done crying then?
Well, I think it's a bit harsh to compare Katashi to spilt milk, but I understand the overarching point of that comment.
Good. We have work to do.
What work? Beatrix stood dead still in the hallway and placed her hand next to her ear.
Listen.
I stood silently and heard nothing. I don't... Beatrix continued standing, listening. Suddenly my stomach rumbled. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit hungry.
Bingo, sailor. That's what we're listening for.
My stomach?
Anyone's really. And now that our chef is gone and cooked himself up a storm, someone needs to feed the crew.
Again, callous. Beatrix smirked at her own joke. Beatrix, he died less than 24 hours ago.
What? Too soon?
It will always be too soon. Yes!
Well, too bad. I know he would have laughed.
I stood in amazement of how easily Beatrix was dealing with all this. I quickly snapped out of it as she started again down the hallway towards the kitchen. As we arrive at the kitchen, I could see that she clearly already spent some time in here before waking me up. How long you been up?
A few hours, give or take.
Wait, have you even slept?
A little. Nicholas was insistent that I sleep, and so I did so, just to appease him.
Aren't you tired?
There is work to do, sailor. Beauty sleep is reserved for times of peace.
Wow, really? I thought you were much more vain than that. Beatrix shot a glare at me. I thought I was a dead man. My last words wasted. Beatrix suddenly lightened up.
Sailor, look at me. I've had a lifetime of beauty sleep. Skipping a few nights won't hurt my gorgeous good looks even in the slightest.
I guess you're right.
You, on the other hand? Sorry I woke you.
Nice. Hey. Beatrix laughed to herself as she stood by the oven, lightly crackling pan in one hand and spatula in the other.
Be a dear and get that cooling rack, will you?
She pointed with her face as she pulled the pan from the oven top. The sweet smell of pancakes soon filled the room as she moved them from the pan to the rack. I could feel myself salivating. My stomach suddenly grumbled loudly, even more than before. Sorry. Beatrix patted my stomach with a spatula.
Yes, it's coming. Sheesh.
Should I go wake the others?
No. We will simply leave all the breakfast here, and when they are ready, they will help themselves.
Then, why'd you wake me up? Beatrix smirked.
Well, If you must know,
Yes?
I was bored.
You wanted my company? Beatrix suddenly became sheepish.
No, I didn't. I just wanted to annoy someone, and who better than you?
Well, you're doing that well. Uh-huh.
Shut up and eat your pancakes.
I looked at the pancakes being thrust into my chest. I thought about arguing, but a second look at them made me change my mind. Yes, ma'am. Beatrix looked pleased as I delved into the pancakes, which were amazing. I didn't know I wanted them until now. Suddenly, the room felt extremely tense. And where am I, Trixie? Suddenly, Di appeared before Beatrix and I.
Well, Di, it was a surprise, but...
A surprise? I love surprises. What is it? Tell me, tell me.
Beatrix sighed.
It's not a surprise if I tell you.
But, you were gonna?
But, I'm not going to anymore.
Beatrix mocked Di openly. Di's demeanor changed to that of someone who had just had their dreams crushed.
Only I hadn't interrupted you. You would have told me.
Well, lesson learned. Now maybe, in the future, you will be more polite.
Di stopped and thought for a moment.
Unfortunately, I am not programmed for politeness. So, your options are, tell me now, or I kill you.
Fine, I'll tell you.
Di leaned in intensely towards Beatrix.
Your pancakes
Yes?
are in hell, waiting for you.
Di smiled intensely.
Hell? Oh, silly Trixie.
Huh?
I understand your sentiment, but if heaven and hell exist as you humans understand it, I would not reside in hell upon my death.
What? Why not?
Well, one, I am not human, nor a creation of any god. My parents are humans, and just quietly, they are pretty poor at parenting.
I agree.
Two, I am programmed by humans. So if my directives are evil, then it would be the humans who created me that would face the consequences of your god or gods.
Okay.
And finally, and my favorite one, what I'm doing, as distasteful as it may seem to some, is actually for the greater good. In the human Christian faith, God killed humans many times for the greater good. I think we'd actually get along quite well.
Di smiled wildly at Beatrix.
You think you're a god?
No, that's just silly. I am, however, in the definitive sense, your god. I am the greater power that controls and determines your life. And as your god, I command you to come to the dining hall for the next round of the Deletion Game's rules explanation.
I
Hooray.
will tell you what I told my own supposable god. You can get...
Di disappeared as if not even acknowledging that Beatrix was talking to her. I placed what was left of my pancakes down on the counter and headed to the dining hall with Beatrix, whose face was still taut with anger. Alright, this time we're going to choose to hang out with Beatrix, because we did the other one last time. Okay. And I'm trying to be nice to her for this one. You're right, let's spend maybe our last moments doing something we enjoy. Like banging. I slipped the pocket watch into my pockets and smiled at Beatrix.
I know you would see it my way.
But even mind.
Hmm.
Beatrix appeared to be thinking. I thought she'd come more prepared than this.
Let's go to the farm and feed and pet the animals.
I wasn't expecting that as something she would want to do. That sounds nice. We headed out toward the farm to feed and pet the animals. As you do. Once we arrived, Beatrix quickly made her way to the sheep pen and started patting the sheep. While standing there in the farm, watching Beatrix happily pat sheep, it was easy to forget the predicament we were in, and soon to face. Jordan. Yes, Beatrix?
Once this is all over and life returns to normal, let's enjoy every day together. Just like we are now. Like it might be our last. I've spent too much of my life taking each day for granted. Nicholas for granted. I don't want to do that anymore.
What makes you so sure we will ever return to normal?
Pessimistic, eh?
Beatrix threw a glance sideways in my direction. Rather believe that I'm a realist.
That's just a fancy word for someone who's given up.
I haven't given up, but I never thought of it like that. So how should we enjoy our every day together once this is done?
I like baking. Let's bake some biscuits together one time.
I look forward to it.
So do I.
I spent the rest of the day with Beatrix, just enjoying each other's company. Tomorrow's going to be hard, but I was going to try and be more positive. After all, I hadn't given up. I woke again with a similar feeling I had felt many times before. My stomach felt as though it was trying to escape my body. It's time to go dance with the devil, I suppose. Skip. Alright. Obviously this time we're going to deal with it after the deletion game and not jump to another dimension. Which will involve us probably having to enter the code and not having the code because I don't have the code. I don't know yet what would occur if I press the buttons now. For all I know, something devastating could occur. I stared at the watch with this stomach-churning mix of respect, fear, reverence, and awe. I slipped it gently back into my pocket, taking extreme care not to brush any buttons with my hands, and let out a huge breath, realizing that I'd been holding it this whole time. Think, Jordan, think. Perhaps it'd be best to get some advice on this matter. I decided to go and consult Beatrix. As you do. I wound my way down the hallway, head swimming with thoughts, and found myself staring at the door to the Vogel's quarters with no recollection of how I had arrived there. Shaking my head to try and clear it, I pressed the intercom button. Beatrix, can I speak with you for a moment? No response. Beatrix? Still nothing but silence. I started back down the hallway when I heard the door open behind me. Jordan? Oh, good morning, Nicholas.
It would be, if not for recent events.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nicholas. May I speak with Beatrix? Jordan? Yes?
What am I supposed to think when you, a young man, comes to wake my sister at some ungodly hour of the morning?
It took me a while to realize what Nicholas had implied. No, it's not what you think at all.
Go on then, I'm listening.
I came to ask Beatrix for advice. My research on the pocket watch has finally had a breakthrough.
And do you think Beatrix could be of assistance at this hour of the morning?
Nicholas chuckled empathetically, as if I was about to walk into the lion's den.
Be my guest. I will give you two some space and go and fix up some breakfast.
Nicholas moved to one side, motioning for me to enter. He gave me one last pitying smile and disappeared down the hall. And we're gonna die. She's gonna kill us. I stepped into the room and saw the outline of someone wrapped up in blankets on the bed in the corner. Beatrix? She didn't respond. I tiptoed closer and tried to gently rock her. Beatrix, it's me. Beatrix, I need your advice. Please wake up. Beatrix stirred a little, but she didn't rise. Poke. I gently poked her in the face with my outstretched finger. Her aggressive moans started forming coherent words.
Go away, Nicholas.
Beatrix, it's me.
Go away, me.
I doubled over in laughter at her hilarious response. I struggled to plead with her between gasps of breath. Please, I need your help. Beatrix sat bolt upright, having finally been sufficiently roused.
This had better be very important.
It is, I promise.
You've got exactly 10 seconds to make your case before I kick the ever-loving crap out of you.
The pocket watch, it's turned on.
What?
It's doing something. The green lights are all lit up now. I yanked the watch excitedly from my pocket and held it up for Beatrix to inspect. The watch face bathed Beatrix's own face in green light, glinting off her tired eyes, intrigue slowly dawning over her features.
Well, does it work now?
I don't know. I haven't pressed anything yet.
Why not?
Would you
In a
press it?
heartbeat.
But what about Nicholas? What if Yuzuki killed him?
If I knew for sure that it would kill Nicholas, I wouldn't touch the thing. But I don't know that. Quite the contrary. It may be the only thing that can save him.
You'd risk that?
Look, you'd have to be blind to see that we're practically dead already. Die isn't stopping. It's just a matter of time.
It clearly pained her just to mention the possibility of Nicholas dying.
So, if given an option, no matter how dangerous or unlikely to work, I would take it.
Beatrix was right. Even with this, I couldn't bring myself to push the button, just yet. I thanked Beatrix and made my way back to the quarters so I could consider her thoughts on the merits of using the watch and its possible implications. She made a lot of sense, but there's still something inside making me hesitate. I tried my best to get a solid grasp of the possibilities and consequences that literally lay in the palm of my hands. Time flew by as I was lost in thought, only interrupted by the PA system suddenly springing to life, shocking me out of my contemplative state.
Good morning, my most eager beavers. Today is, of course, the long-awaited round of the Deletion Game Vampire Children. If you could all please make your way to your individual quarters, I will be selecting my vampire.
I sighed, remembering that I had bigger problems immediately at hand.
Hello?
Di was standing before me as I glanced up, looking far too happy for me to feel entirely comfortable.
Aw, why the long face?
You mean besides the game?
The game? I'll have you know that it's your lucky day, sir.
I'm the vampire? Oh, and how exactly is that?
You are not the vampire. I repeat, not the vampire.
Why is that a good thing?
I have run a simulation of the game many times, and you are way more likely to win if you aren't the vampire.
Isn't that unfair?
I didn't say by how much. Besides, this game is about convincing others to breed with you. So it's much more reliant on the interaction of the people playing than the actual mechanics themselves.
Yay for me then?
That's the spirit. Now, when the time comes, go out there and make Granny Di some beautiful grandbabies.
Di vanished from my room and shortly after was once again blaring over the PA system.
Thank you all for your cooperation. You are now free to pass the time as you please. The game will commence in 2 hours. Good luck!
I sat on the end of my bed, filled with dread about the upcoming game. Who's the vampire? Who should I try to breed with first? How will I know if they're telling me the truth? This is all too much on top of my current conundrum. Suddenly the doorbell rang. Hello?
It's me. May I come in?
Of course. As I gave my verbal permission, the door slid open and the flustered face of Beatrix peered in, followed shortly by the rest of her. Beatrix, you okay?
Yes. Well, no.
Why don't you take a seat and let me know what's going on? She looked at me for a second before slowly inclining her head, before taking a seat on the end of my bed. She looked visibly shaken. Alright, take it from the top.
I'm the vampire.
Damn, really?
Di just told me.
Wait, so why are you telling me?
I want you to be my Clyde.
Me? What about Nicholas?
I have a plan. I just need your help.
Why don't you explain the plan to me first?
Okay. So in the first round, I bite you and you will willingly become a vampire.
Uh-huh.
And Nicholas breeds with another crew person, making a baby.
With you so far.
Then, in round 2, we each bite any person except Nicholas, creating new vampire children. Meanwhile, Nicholas gains another baby.
Alright.
Then, in the third round, we can bite Nicholas and those who are left, ensuring we have more vampire children than babies.
Gotcha.
We win, and simultaneously, Nicholas has more babies than the others and will be spared.
So the first people we bite might be the ones who might die.
Correct. After we bite them, they will no longer produce babies and will be stuck in that form from the first round.
So we essentially get to choose who dies.
Correct.
I don't know if I want to make that decision.
If you don't help me, I'm dead.
Silence ruled the room as I could feel the tension growing.
Is there no one you're willing to sacrifice to save me?
Definitely not.
I
Beatrix.
came to you because I want to save you. I could have asked my brother to be my Clyde, but I wanted to be sure to save both of you. And this is the only way I can think of doing it. I want to save both of you. And so I will. What do you say? Join me?
Fine.
Fantastic.
So what do we do from here?
We don't have to do much, just make sure to breed with me in the first round and things should go smoothly from there.
Shouldn't we organize more now?
I would love to, but the longer I spend with you, the more the others might become suspicious. We need to hide the fact that we are the vampires.
You're right, okay. Let's strategize further when we're breeding. Beatrix winked as she turned and left. I'd picked my side. I hoped that I made the right choice that could get Beatrix, Nicholas, and I through this in one piece. Not long after Beatrix left, I appeared.
We need to speak.
Good morning, I.
Do not have long. Come to the server room.
I zapped away, leaving me quite confused. Never heard her sound quite so human. She seemed worried, something I'd never seen before, and it made me deeply concerned. I looked at the location of the server room. We know this one. The server room dies here, and we get to put the code in, but I don't have the code. I was already standing to attention, waiting my
I
arrival.
must make this quick. Di is brute forcing rogue codes and functions.
She's trying to take over.
She is attempting to take control, but I am doing my best to keep her at bay for now.
Why is that
I
happening?
discovered that the tablets belonging to the ship's personnel were capable of overriding the main system, and so she has patched that exploit.
Does that mean I can no longer deactivate Dai?
You can, but it must happen here, directly at the server mainframe.
But I still don't know the password.
This is your only chance. I have gained the security clearance required to allow you to override the system.
I told you I'm not ready.
Once you input the override code, the ship's AI system will reset.
I don't have the deactivation code.
The deactivation code is 5 words in length.
Ai's image flickered wildly. She struggled to keep Dai from regaining control. A screen flashed at the back of the server room came to life. An ominous cursor flashed on a password prompt screen. Ai disappeared and her voice called to me through the PA system.
You always had it.
The override code. I can't, I just don't know. The screen suddenly shut off, lights dimming through the entire server room. Huh? Ai, are you there? There was no response. Ai? I cautiously retraced my steps to the entrance of the room. When I spotted a familiar glow of light coming from somewhere behind me, I turned back to face her. Dai, what the hell are you doing?
What am I doing? You're in my room, you pervert.
This is the server
Where do
room.
you think I live, moron?
I guess she was right. Everything that made up Ai and Dai resided on these servers. Sorry, Dai.
Just get out. Sheesh. Can't a girl get a little privacy around here?
I hastily beat a retreat. I knew never to cross a woman in her own territory. I felt like a bath to relax my frayed nerves, plus I really need to clean myself up before the game started. Hooray! What the hell happened here? Shizuka, Yoshiki, I need you. Nothing. Dai? Dai zapped into the room, and the scene that awaited put a shock look on even her
Wow,
face.
you couldn't wait for the game, huh? Would you just look at this mess? You're one bloodthirsty animal. I'm so proud.
It wasn't me. I ran over to Shizuka. She'd been bleeding heavily from the torso, but the bleeding had since stopped along with her heart. I made my way to Yoshiki, pulling him from the bath, but it was too late. He was already dead.
I'm not a doctor, but they are like really dead.
My eyes traced the blood trail through the baths towards the back of the room. An arm lay on its source, sticking out from around the corner.
I wouldn't go back there if I was you.
Why not?
I'm registering a life form.
Someone's still alive? Before Dai could respond, I sprinted over, praying that at least someone had survived. My mind raced as I approached, turning the corner.
I think you might have misunderstood.
It's the killer, you twat. Dai stood beside me as I looked up and came face to face with the captain. I barely had time to register the glint of steel. I looked down and saw the hilt of a knife protruding awkwardly from my stomach. At my feet was the motionless body of what looked like the captain. Wait, didn't she? I looked back up and saw the hand of the captain still in front of me, having just embedded the knife into me. Captain?
Why are there two captains? And why are you stabbing him?
Dai seemed just as confused as I did. The captain didn't answer, but yanked the knife from my stomach instead. Ugh. I fell to my knees, crippling pain radiating out of my stomach, sending my whole body into shock. I clutched desperately at the wound. Everything's gonna be okay. Dai stared quizzically at the captain, ignoring the fact that I was bleeding out on the floor. I just need to stitch this up. Dai, please help me. I tried to hold myself up by leaning on the adjacent wall, but my strength failed me, and I slid slowly down, leaving a grotesque smear of blood as I
You
sank.
killed Kimiko?
Yes.
But you are Kimiko.
Yes.
My primary directive is that Kimiko never be slain.
Yes.
But you...
Yes.
And she is...
Yes.
I... failed.
That is correct.
Dai's face was overcome with an immense sadness. Even as I quietly bled out on the floor, I felt sorry for her. Dai turned to me, her eyes locking onto mine.
Your injuries are fatal. You will die shortly after losing consciousness in a moment or two.
Not the worst news I've been given today. Dai smiled sincerely, perhaps for the first time.
I'm sorry you died. That everyone died. For no reason.
That was the last thing I ever heard. Okay, well, we are going to wrap this one up here, because we're out of time for today. Hopefully that was good and we didn't go over anything we've already gone over too much. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.